I'm Elena, and today I'll be talking about business English idioms that make the language of business so much alive. Our topic today is jargon of the business game. What is jargon? Let's define the word jargon. Words and expressions used by a particular profession or group of people and which are difficult for others to understand. So today I will first talk about the three main sources of idiomatic expressions in business. Next, I'll talk about each group of idioms in more detail. And finally, we'll practice some exercises together to reinforce your knowledge of business idioms. Business English is a cultural dialect initially spoken primarily by males. What is dialect? Dialect, a variety of language used by a group of speakers who are set off from others, either geographically or socially. Male-dominated terminology is abound with secret codes, hidden meanings, and colloquialisms, that is, informal expressions. The vocabulary of the business world originated mostly in the three domains of war, sport, and gambling, reflecting the aggressive and fierce competitiveness and risk-taking. And our first group of idioms in business English is military metaphors. What is metaphor? Let's define the word metaphor. Metaphor, a figure of speech in which a phrase is applied to something that is not applicable literally. For example, from military to business. Military metaphors refer mostly to military rank titles and actions, reflecting their highly hierarchical and competitive nature, and allude to a glorious battle, replete with a general's grand view, armies of salesmen marching against each other on the business front, and a spectacular victory crowning it all, or losses beyond imagination. And our first expression here is Admiral General. In business English, Chief Executive Officer of a conglomerate or a multinational corporation. The term is derived from Admiral of the Fleet or Army General. And our next expression here is plain sailing, something which is easy to do or achieve. For example, we should not expect a plain sailing under current market conditions. And the next expression is stick to your guns, maintain your point of view, keep the same course of action. For example, she may want to convince you otherwise, but you should stick to your guns. And let's move on to the next expression, up in arms, very angry and ready to fight. For example, the inspector was up in arms about the lack of safety procedures. And then we have numerous expressions with the word battle, which is a head-on confrontation with a market competitor, with a rival for the market share. And the first expression is do battle with, fight it out. For example, you may have to do the battle with the insurers because they won't want to pay. And the next expression is fight a losing battle or fight an uphill battle, which means make no progress, struggle against unfavorable circumstances, futile efforts. For example, manufacturers often feel they are fighting a losing battle against counterfeiting. Another example, I have been fighting an uphill battle with the financial department, but they won't give us the money. And the next expression in this group is half the battle, the hard part. The rest is easy. For example, if you can convince the cultural attaché here, that's half the battle. Okay, and let's move on to the next expression, to be on the warpath, be very angry. For example, Bill is on the warpath again. There are mistakes in the advertising materials we sent out. And the next expression is flagship, literally the ship commanded by the fleet admiral. In business, the regional office often consolidated with the headquarters. For example, Ralph Lauren Corporation has recently announced the closing of its 4-story Polo flagship on Manhattan Fifth Avenue as it is switching to e-commerce. That's a real-life example that happened in New York following the COVID outbreak and ensuing riots. And the next expression is bite the bullet. which is face an extremely painful fact, such as take a loss. For example, we might have to bite the bullet in the third quarter if the current economic conditions persist. And here we go, the next expression, pulling rank, using your superior position to get something free or undeserved, such as a corporate suite or the season box tickets. Okay, and the next expression is shoot. Set forth an idea or plan, doesn't usually presume a spontaneous remark though. Okay, I am all ears, just shoot. To be under fire, to be criticized or held responsible. For example, we are coming under fire due to proposed budget cuts. To be under the gun, to be under pressure to produce desirable performance results. For example, our department is under the gun to deliver the sales numbers. And this is our second group of business English idioms, which are sport metaphors. Sports metaphors are very colored and action-oriented, unlike military metaphors, which are mostly symbolic and ego-boosting. Sports allusions are very specific and literal. They allude mainly to baseball and football. So we will start with baseball associations. The first expression here is a ballpark figure, which is a rough estimate expressed in dollars and cents. Literally, a park where a ball game is played. For example, I don't know the exact price, but $500 is a good ballpark figure. And the next expression is out in the field, out of it, no idea what's going on. Literally, the player is stationed farthest away from the main activity, which is better, which takes place in infield. Don't ask him, he's out in the field. And the next expression is over the fence, a sure home run. In business, a stunning performance or a profitable financial feat. For example, our department is over the fence this quarter. And the next expression, a team player, one who subordinates all the glory for the good of the team. For example, one of the requirements for the job is to be a good team player. And the next expression is to cover all the bases, to prepare yourself thoroughly dealing with a situation. For example, I think we have covered all the bases before launching our new advertising campaign. And the next expression is very, very common, to touch base, which means to get in touch, to get in contact. For example, let's touch base next week. And the next expression, in the cellar, the last place in the league standing literally, the worst record, consistently unsuccessful in business. For example, unless we improve our sales, we'll find ourselves in the cellar. American football associations. And the first expression here is a backup team. Trained duplicate players who sit on the sideline bench, prepared to enter the game to replace removed players. In management, strong executives who are fully trained to take over the top job at any time if the opportunity arises. For example, we should have a backup team in case the new strategy doesn't work out. And the next expression is, the ball is in your court. It is your responsibility to take action next. For example, we have told you everything about this job opportunity. Now the ball is in your court. And the next expression is to keep your eye on the ball, to pay attention, to focus on something. For example, the market keeps changing all the time, so you have to stay alert and keep your eye on the ball. And the next expression is a quarterback, a key player who calls the signals, that is telling other players what to do, a true leader. For example, it takes a special kind of a person to be a quarterback and a CEO. The next expression here, to score, to win a victory, to accomplish in the face of competition. For example, we are going to score this year. Okay, and the next couple of expressions refer to the idea of fairness in business. The first is move the goalposts, which is change the rules, making it more difficult for competitors. For example, you don't know where you stand. They keep moving the goalposts. And a level playing field, a fair and balanced situation. For example, there must be no unfair competition, and we will continue to stress the need for a level playing field. And our last and third group of idiomatic expressions in business English, gambling illusions. Gambling illusions are especially popular in investing, reflecting the risky side of the business game. They originated mostly in the card games, such as poker, but also in marbles and dice. And the first expression here is to hedge your bets, which is reduce your chances of failure, mitigate your risks. For example, we are trying to hedge our bets and not put all the eggs in one basket. And we have a number of expressions with the word odds, which is the probability of the bet in gambling. The first expression here is the odds are stacked against you. Your chances are low. There are many difficulties. For example, the odds are stacked against us, but we're determined to succeed. And the next expression, it makes no odds. It makes no difference. For example, it makes no odds whether we get permission or not. We'll go ahead anyway. And to pay over the odds, to pay more than it is worth. For example, the developer is paying over the odds for the site, but it's not the prime location. And the next expression is with the word trump, which is any playing card of a suit that outranks the other suits. And coincidentally, the last name of the American president, Donald Trump. So the expression is to come up trumps, to produce good, unexpected results. We had our doubts about Susan, but she has really come up trumps. Okay, let's move on to the next one. To play your cards right, to do the right thing. If you play your cards right, you will get the promotion. And the stakes are high. There is a lot of risk. We are all aware that the stakes are really high. We'll have to prepare as best as we can for this negotiation. And finally, these are our examples. So we are going to practice some exercises. Exercise number 1. There are many idioms from sport alluding to competition. Use the following nouns to complete these idioms. A level playing field. Move the goalposts. Ahead of the game. And keep your eye on the ball. And the next exercise, which of the idioms in exercise 1 refer to the situation of a fair competition? So we can see a level playing field. Which situation refers to a change in the rules? Move the goalposts. Which situation refers to staying focused? Keep your eye on the ball. And the last one here, being in front of the competition is being ahead of the game. And we are moving on to the third exercise. Complete the following with the most suitable idiom from exercise 2. It's not a level playing field anymore. And as a small company, it is difficult for us to compete with big multinationals. And the next one, we have left our competitors behind. We spend a lot of money on R&D so we can stay ahead of the game. Right. And the next one. The government has changed all the rules for exporters. They keep moving the goalposts, so we will have to rethink our international operations. And the last one. We really need to concentrate on what our competitors are doing. In today's market, you need to stay ahead of the game. I'm sorry to keep your eye on the ball all the time. We really need to concentrate on what our competitors are doing. In today's market, you need to keep your eye on the ball all the time. And that's it for today. And I hope to see you soon. Do you have any questions? Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.